Welcome to StFX Trading Flow. It's another great week. We promised that we'll have a video on risk and trade management because we found that the key in this market actually is that as long as you are getting good trading setups and signals, again, your point of exit is as important as your entry. And exit become more important, the exact point, when to get in, when to exit the market, and when to book your profits, maybe preferentially or all your trades. And we want to demonstrate with the last week's trade on gold so that you can be able to see how you could have been able to work on your trades quite well. If you check on the trade that we had or any other trade that you may be having, the key thing you may notice is we look for entries based on the 4-hour chart, but in the direction of the weekly chart. Because if you check on the period separators here on this chart, you check on the 4-hour chart, if you check the period separators on the 4-hour chart, they are between 7 days or 1 week, 1 week, 1 week. If you check another example, like on a daily chart, you'll see on 1-hour chart, it's period separators on a day. So you should be able to focus again on the daily chart. You enter, like an example, 1-hour chart, the direction of the daily chart. 4-hour chart, you must move in the direction of the weekly chart, because for 1-hour chart is moving in the direction of the weekly chart. So that in such an example, like if you check this one, the overall move on gold has been simply moving down. This is a lower low, this is a lower high. Traders take profit, make a new low here at this point, a lower high, then we make a new low, dropping all the way down. That's why we had said that based on this support level here, the minimum key requirement or the exit at this market was supposed to be an average 1700 from 1764, where we had taken our trade. And you can see we are simply swinging in the direction of the weekly chart, which is on this point. In the same case when we are giving each and every trade here. And this should be very, very important. Every time you are picking our trades, don't just pick the trade, you must again check how. Another example, then we want to give vivid example on the same. If an example like on this week, it's only that this week we not found any valid trade for us to get into the market. If I may check based on the strategy maybe that we use based on the 4-hour chart, that we are swinging in that direction. The key thing on this market is, if an example you could have hit, of course this was our primary hit here, it was a primary hit at this point. This could have been the easiest point to pick this trade from around this point. But if you go on the weekly chart and check on this chart, check on this candle, you check this is the weekly chart where you could have. So it was around 1749. So let's put a default chart at around the price 1749. Based on last week, any exit is based on the weekly candle and not on the 4-hour chart swing. Why? One key thing you need to check with this 4-hour chart, an example like in Euro JPY, let me explain on such a trade, Euro JPY. If you check on such a trade, if you get a short signal on this point, because at this point is where you could have short this trade, and of course you see this is where the weekly period separator is. So you should put your stop loss 5 to 10 points at the breakout of the weekly candle, which is this one that is dropping here, and this candle is this one for the last week. So what does that mean? If you come on the 4-hour chart and you sell at that point, and then at like for this week, you check this week, we are moving once again up. If the price comes back from this price level in a breakout on this side, the weekly chart changes from a bearish candle to a bullish candle. That means the overall view of that price now has totally changed, because if it has broken this weekly candle, that means now the view changes from bearish to bullish candle. And another example is like this week. If you had taken this buy, an example like this trade, in my example, I had picked this. Those who have a strategy know what I mean. Breakout of this weekly candle is at this point. So if I come back to the weekly chart, you can see it is at the breakout of this candle here, at this price point. This candle for last week is the new candle for this week. Even if you buy at this point, if this price comes back and breaks down, becomes bearish, that tells you now the overall view of that market is gone, and you should be exiting such a market. And that is the case that we use every time we are giving our signals. So everybody who is joining our signals or who are taking our trades, take note of that every time, like, Rowdy last week had a very good sell at this price point, and then we check, so with our strategy. At this point, we had a very good sell at this price point here. And you can see this is where the weekly candle was. So the breakout is around this price level. You can see the price from this price to the stop loss is very small. Then from there, the key thing again is the exit. Let's check this one with the weekly candle. If you go to the weekly candle now, it's the same as this one. You can see this is the candle. If price changed and moved up, this one would be bullish, and you should have exited the market. So again, another key thing is the exit of the market. If an example like in such a market, I get into such a point, let's see, such a price level, this is the stop loss. So as long as the price has not hit the stop loss and the price is negative, that is a valid trade, and you should keep on holding that trade. But when you are moving down, you can check like this one dropped how many pips points from this point, an average 263. What if you do not exit this market right now? You should have now be only from 263 pips price, profit prices to only 35. That means the exit should be as more important as your entry. That means you need to have minimum targets every time you are getting using our signals. And the key thing, we've already been advising our trades always see at least a minimum of 50 pips. Like such a price level, this should have been 50. Then from there, you can move down to 100 pips. It depends with you. Like this is from this price point is an average 50, then 200 to 50. And that's why we say, if you're using an example like 0.1 volume or 1 volume, let's use an example of 0.1 volume. Instead of getting it just 0.1 volume, you can divide that volume to like 0.03, 0.03, 0.03, like 3 trades. One you can pick at 50, another one you can pick at 100 pips. And don't forget, every time you close the first TP, make sure you break even. Break even means taking your stop loss from the profit point, from the loss point, then you break even from the entry down. If you are buying, it is to the point open, so that now you are at zero risk level. Because the moment you wait till the price is moving down and decide to come back completely, that means you'll be incurring losses. So this is always key. So make sure the first PP target 50, break even, then target 100, continue now trading your PP or your stop loss based maybe on 50 pips. Continue trading. Like this one went down all the way to 200, maybe you could have gotten the first initial 50 pips, then another 100, coming down that until the price now comes hit your trading stop loss, and you're out of that trade. And the same case should happen with gold. It's only that gold, we had enough pips. So maybe from this price level, it drops down so many pips, 300 pips. That is enough for a swing. In such a case, we had another swing at this point. So when the price is moving back against the weekly chart, it's not time to buy. It is time now to wait so that you move in the direction of the chart. And this is the exercise that we keep on checking. So if you follow all those rules, you always be closing your trades at a profit point level. So every trade you're using or all signals that will be giving, this is what you should be doing all the time. So from STF, I think that is it. Let's meet on the chat on our STF, on our Telegram group. That's why most of the links that do happen. So from here, we don't have anything else. Just and as you learn with STF, because here this is why you trade smart. Thank you.